Good morning. Hi, good morning, Scorpio, and welcome to your July reading for July. I hope you guys are well, and I hope you guys are happy to be here. Thank you so much for the continued support. You guys are almost at 10,000 views, and it's just mid-month. We still have half a month to go. So I'm very happy that you guys are enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying making these videos for you. Today, I just want to announce quickly that I am having a summer contest. That is for you to watch any full-length meditation, not the sigils. The sigils that are 8 minutes long don't count. So watch an hour-long meditation. You leave a comment underneath the meditation. You subscribe to the Veroosh meditation channel. That's in the About section below. And then you will be entered to win, and the prize is any type of reading, your choice, for a consultation, a 1-hour consultation, a year preview reading, or an oracle painting. So you can choose which one you want. What you're hearing through behind my voice is my new meditation. This is sponsored by Crystal, so thank you so much, Crystal. The meditation will be available on the meditation channel soon. Also, I want to say a big thank you to Kim, who purchased the Margaret Petersen tarot deck. Now, if you guys were watching last month, I requested to buy this from somebody if they had it, because it's a hard to find deck. It's out of print. But Kim was crazy enough to buy it for me and gift it to me. So now, thanks to her, we're having this very special reading for July. So this is the purple border edition of the Margaret Petersen tarot. So, also, if you guys have some questions, I have to turn off the chat because it's distracting while I read. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask me those questions during the 10 a.m. live stream on Veroosh live vlogs this morning. I'll be talking about the Sagittarius reading as well as the Scorpio reading, so come join us for breakfast and tea. I'm using for the central card Tarot Resin, which is the deck that I used in the 2016 overview reading. It's a very beautiful deck, and it's been giving us really wonderful messages. And today's reading is focused on the High Priestess. So if you take a look at the High Priestess card, there's 2 columns usually in her card, and one is black and one is white. And so the dark column can represent the shadow, and the white column can represent the light. And since I have now both Petersen decks, I can read for you through the shadow and through the light. But before we begin, let's pick one of these animal totem stones. They're wooden blocks with First Nations imagery on them and messages. They're not runes. This will be the theme for your month of July. And now let's pick a card from the Tarot Resin. I'm just turning off chat now, but if you leave me a comment in the chat section, then I'll reply after the reading. So here we go, Scorpio. And the next card is for the shadow. This deck is so well printed. It's on good papers. If you notice, this is the thing about new decks. Look in comparison. These are the same deck with the same amount of cards, and look at the thickness. These cards, the original printing of tarot cards was done on very good quality cards, and unfortunately in recent years cards have been printed on much flimsier stock. And I find that in Europe you can still get these good quality cards, but not really anywhere else. Everywhere else they're printing, I think the main printers are in China, and they print in just too thin stock. It's not a nice solid card. Some people prefer it, but I really enjoy I feel as though I'm getting my money's worth when with a big card. Scorpio for 2016 July. using the bottom card. Now let's pick some cards for the light side. Alrighty, let's take a look at the stone, the First Nations. The message is, I think this is the bear. I don't have my cheat sheet card. But it's called protection, Scorpio. So for July, your theme is protection. And the tarot resin card that we picked is the High Priestess. So through vision, you'll be able to protect yourself and those around you. This is a stark realist perspective. That means that it's not clouded by, superficial feelings and emotions. It's not buttering anything up or anyone up. It's just saying it how it is. This is a clear understanding of circumstances as they are before you, not as you would wish them to be. And this is the safest place to be, to the ability to see a circumstance for what it is, clearly and precisely, not only here on earth, but also with perspective to the divine or divine order or God's plan or anything like that. The High Priestess is a seer. She is an oracle. She is the one who exists in both the universe and here on earth. So there's this component of transcendence and vision. She sees many visions and is able to bring them forward. Particularly for Scorpio, you're able to bring and exact things from underneath, from the time or the world of the dead, and bring them forward into reality. So there's great truths and mysteries that are all within your own selves and within your own hearts. And this reading is true for Scorpio rising, for Scorpio sun, and for Scorpio moon. In particular, I'm thinking of Scorpio moon, to be exact, because that is where your soul resides. That is your feelings and emotions. And through the stirring of your feelings and emotions, Scorpio moon, you're able to be influenced with great vision. And this is why watching for your moon may not produce a tangible answer for your life's problems, but in fact can explain things in a very personal, subtle, and deep perspective that will help you along in your life. The High Priestess is a visionary. She's the one who sees things for what they are. She communicates things. Sometimes people don't understand her. Sometimes people don't appreciate her. Oftentimes in history, oracles have been abused, and lots of horrible things have happened. They have been abducted, physically assaulted, all sorts of different things because they speak the truth. And that truth has always been something that has left the world in awe, but also with a lot of fear in their hearts. And so therefore, especially with issues of power, oracles have been used as political tools and therefore have had a very specific role in history. How that applies to us this month, Scorpio, in July, is that you have to use your discernment with the information that you've been provided. Not everything that you see should be spoken. Some things should be written down in your private notes or jotted down or held in some way in a private sense. Not everything needs to be disclosed all the time. But remember that there is protection for those who see. So I have to move the candles just so when I show the cards so it doesn't burn the cards. Plus you guys can see the cards better that way. Okay. So in the bottom of the light, we have the Father of Coins. This is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. So right off the bat, we're saying one of the light of the situation, the light of the month, is success in industry. So being very successful with the work or the projects that you are doing, Scorpio, and being able to achieve the things that you want to achieve very well. This is someone who is no longer striving to establish a business. This is someone who has an established business already. Their money is coming in, and instead of focusing on the hustle to survive, they're focusing on the hustle of quality of life, not only for themselves but for people around them. This is someone who's very conscientious. It's often called someone who is a philanthrope, so someone who is interested in philanthropy and an interjection into other people's circumstances. So he has a lot of resources, he has a lot of wealth to access that he can share with others, and he does. So he's someone who's very interested in sharing with others or participating in some kind of business idea. Scorpio, a man like this could come into your life, or this could be you during this month. If it is you, then maybe your focus becomes more spiritual this month rather than trying to gather resources. The only reason for that would be that your resources are met, and now you can move up that Maslow's theory of needs. Okay, in the shadow there's the 10 of Swords, or the 10 of Feathers. So this means that this is a complete and utter end to something that has happened already to you before July. Something has happened, and now you are waiting for it to end. And in July, you're finally ready and able to make that situation finished and complete. You're holding on to certain aspects of it, but as you realize that you are holding on, you're allowed to let go, and you realize you can let go. This is intellectual death and a cessation of connection with someone or something. This could be a situation that you're holding on to just so that you can feel the essence of that situation a little bit longer. Okay? Very powerful cards so far, and quite a dichotomy. So just remember that when we're reading the shadow, this shadow doesn't mean bad, and this light doesn't mean good. Shadow and light are just as I'm saying them. It's much more complex of an issue. The shadow is much more internal, while the light is much more external. But both are very necessary, and they both coexist together. So keep that in mind as I read. And I'll try to contextualize and remind you guys. The first card, again, we have a double 10 of Swords. So for the light, you have the 10 of Swords. This reminds us that you have completed a cycle, and you have to let go. The dawn is here also at the same time as things are ending. The 10 of Feathers. So the 10 of Feathers usually depicts a man who is laying down and is facing a sunrise. And that sunrise marks the rising out of the ashes of a situation that has passed. This is self-awareness of the issue. The issue is that the situation has passed, and you have to give it room to complete. You have to allow it to complete and finalize the process. That process is waiting for you to complete it, and it's waiting for you to move forward. Remember that you have all the resources that you need in order to do so. So this is a wonderful time to be able to do that. The 10 of Swords also talks about letting go of all not anxieties, but old enemies or people with whom you've had conflict on some level, and moving forward successfully in a new direction. Okay? Let's pick the next card for the shadow. In the shadow, we have, I think this is the Daughter of Flames. So this is a muse. In the darkness of the ending is the break of dawn. The muse of fire, which is the Daughter of Flames. She's that spark, and she's that recognition. It's beautiful that she's here. So in the depths of your shadow is that spark. It's already begun. So you're self-aware of, amid all this ending, the new beginning has dawned. And you're about to experience the full magnificence of its burst to life. So I feel as though many Scorpios have been through quite a ringer. There has been quite a bit of things going on that have finished up circumstances, finished up situations that you've had to put to rest. But here we have the Daughter of Flames. She's the muse of fire, which means that she is the spark of passion. She's the spark of vision. She's the spark of spiritual awareness. She represents the signs of Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. And so with that, it could be that people like that come up in your life a lot at this time, Scorpio. She reminds you of where you want to go. She's ambitious and she's without any fear. Completely fearless, she moves forward. So in this moment of letting go, in this moment of complete signaling of an ending, there's nowhere to go in this old situation. There's nothing left there. There's already some kind of new beginning that is guiding you in a better direction. Okay? The next card is the Ace of Feathers in the light. Again, a very hopeful card to cross the Ten of Feathers. So as communication is ending and ceasing, if you're wondering about a relationship, will it come back? This is saying that the relationship is not going to continue communicating, but something new is going to happen. There's going to be new communication that comes that is born out of the new. So when bodies die of any animal or plant, they decay into the ground, and that provides sustenance for the soil. That soil allows new things to grow and to breathe and to expand. And that's the Ace of Feathers. So out of the decay of the old circumstances, there's something new that is being brought to you. There's a new communication that is coming for you. And that new communication is allowing you a whole amount of options or creativity with regard to your life. Remember, the main card here is the Father of Coins. The Father of Coins is somebody who's established. You're letting go of things that are not established, things that are working against your security, that are working against things that are going to be good for you. It's time to move forward and be proud of who you are and where you're going. The next card is the Four of Coins. The Four of Coins says that at this time you're going to be prone to saving money. You don't really know exactly what's going on. You don't know what the full ramifications of your circumstances are, and you're not sure how things will evolve. So your recourse for this is to save money, to hold on to your financial wealth, and to save it for a rainy day. And I think that that's a good strategy because you have somebody who is interested in you, who's around you, that can really probably help you magnify your wealth and help you grow your financial strength. So here we have the shadow, and here's the Daughter of Flames. In the shadow we have the Ten of Discs. The shadow is looking very hopeful. And I'll frankly tell you that I saw the next card. I usually don't look, but you got the Two of Cups too. So with the Ten of Discs and the Two of Cups, there's already a lot of resources and wealth that is stirring for you. The Two of Cups is love, coming together, relationships. And the Ten of Discs is financial wealth and growth. This is established wealth through a family, the financial expansion and prominence of family, and the establishment of new families towards financial success and prominence. This is saying that whatever is going on here, that the foundation in the depths of the shadow is very stable. There's deep love there between yourself and others. That love is only touched by the deepest of intuition. So this can manifest as you continually bumping into the same person all the time at the store or on the street, even though maybe for whatever reason you're not somehow connected to them in any other kind of tangible, real world way. This can feel like an attraction. This can feel like a deep-seated love. This can be stirring your imagination and driving your passion. I want to encourage you to embrace this part of your experience, because this experience is going to help you to overcome whatever it is that you're letting go of. And don't expect that situation. Very likely this situation could produce something wonderful for you. But it's just a reminder of what life can be, so that you are motivated to move in this direction. So that you move in this direction and embrace your own wealth and embrace your own resources of love. The next card is the Two of Feathers, and this is in the light. So we have lots of feathers here. There's lots of communication, Scorpio. The Two of Feathers is a vision and a decision between two different options. This can feel very new and unsure, especially since your path is through the Ace of Feathers. So I feel as though you are really putting yourself on the line with the things that you are saying. I feel as though there's lots to be said, and there's someone who is quite impressive to you with whom you want to share your information. But you feel like a toddler speaking to an adult, just very overwhelming in terms of their energy, their status, and their circumstances. But something within you is really driving you to say this. You're seeking protection for yourself, not in the immediate present, but in the long term, and you want that protection to come to you. The Two of Feathers is giving you a couple different options. So if one doesn't work out, there's definitely going to be other options for you to take. I would really advise you to make the comments that are thought out and that you stand behind. But at the same time, be cautious with saying too much, because there's a lot of room for flexibility with these cards. So if you say too much in this situation right away, you might define that situation a little too closely and therefore be not able to go back on your words. So for example, do not disclose too much about yourself. Do not share your opinion too rigorously, because then you might be without an option later on as to what to say and how to say it. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is guided by Jupiter, Scorpio, and Jupiter is about to move into your 12th house in September. But as of July, your Jupiter is finishing up its course of the 11th house, bringing in a lot of new associations and friendships and connections. Jupiter represents luck and change and hope, and for you, it means that as you are trying to find the resources necessary to survive, Jupiter in your 11th house of friendship is guiding people to you who will support you in that path, who will support you in your need to save your resources and gain wealth. Very likely this could be the Father of Coins. This is people who are like-minded, people who have the same goals as you do, people who are trying to achieve the same kind of outcomes as you are trying to achieve. So you need to work hard at yourself and work hard at trying to be who you want to be. Because Wheel of Life or Wheel of Fortune is going to spin its course and give you some good direction, some good hope. This also signifies a change of events about mid-month in July. Mid-month, you can see good luck come to you, being pulled out of a situation that you didn't want to be in maybe. But there's some kind of turn of luck, so a new direction and some new hope. At the center of the reading, we have the Mother of Flames. She is the Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries woman. Scorpio, I think that you are getting a lot of attention this month. Mother of Flames is like a person who's the hub of the middle. She is the great host. She's the one who brings people in. This is a friend who can come in and help you, or this could be you coming out of a circumstance, out of the shadow of a circumstance that was not becoming. So as you come out of the shadow of the circumstance, you burst open with all this fire energy, all this energy that is empowering and quite domineering, quite bright and energetic. But it's very positive. You're able to make a mark. My suggestion here is that you have a lot going on intellectually at this time as well, in terms of ideas, thoughts. And so as you are having those kinds of experiences, those deeper thoughts or things that you're trying to bring forward, this energy is different than this. This is somebody who's ready to share their opinion, someone who's ready to talk it out. I feel as though these Ace of Feathers and Two of Feathers are kind of holding on to the thoughts and ideas that they have. So this is a tentative idea that you still want to figure out and think your way through. In fact, I think that the advice is for you to work your way through things and find alignments with leaders or mentors who can bring forward your ideas in a tangible way when it's time. And I feel as though your own intuition is guiding you to do the same thing. Okay, let's take a look at the shadow. So we have the Nine of Feathers, the Nine of Swords. So there is definitely grief there on the surface. You're still grieving something that has finished. You're grieving, you're letting go. I don't know what's going on, but something has really significantly shook your world, Scorpio. This is not in the present moment. This is not in July. This is something that happened before. And so you are shaken, and in a very private sense. For this to come up in the shadow for Scorpio, that's some of the darkest kind of places that a person can have. Because Scorpios are so introspective and private. So for the Nine of Swords to be here, there's a real deep truth that's being worked through, or a really deep hurt that you were working through. On the surface, though, you have a lot of love and support through the issue, but below the surface, you're still struggling and figuring out your way. So here we have the Five of Cups, which is disappointment. So now we're getting at the root of the problem. There's some disappointment, and then there's the Nine of Swords. So about mid-month, as you are picking up pace, as things are expanding for you in the light, in the shadow you might get more introspective, and you might start feeling the pangs of what you had gone through. So it seems as the energy shifts, where first there's a public event that causes you to retract and think about certain things. And then you start dealing with that in a personal level about mid-month. Conversely, in the shadow, the closure of a circumstance or a situation, you're consolidating and bursting through and finding success in the first 2 weeks of July. And in the middle of 2 weeks, you see that manifest through a lot of success and empowerment. So I think that there's an internalizing process, and there's a process associated with externalizing success. And I think they're going to create a chiasmus or a crisscross of energy in which some of the things that are happening around you, Scorpio, are going to be internalized by mid-month, and some of the things that you are feeling and experiencing are going to manifest through the mid-month. At the center of the reading is the Devil. So it does have to do with a suppression of something, feelings or emotions, possibly. I didn't talk about this Five of Cups, and I think that motivates the Devil quite a lot, because when you are experiencing some kind of disappointment or hurt or loss or missed expectations, which is the Five of Cups, maybe you are susceptible or vulnerable to an influence by the Devil. So someone or something that pushes you to regret, and that's the Devil. And when you experience too much regret, then you fall into a suffering state that causes you to sometimes use drugs and alcohol, that causes you to run away from the pain because it's just too much. So Scorpio, this month it's really important that you take care of your emotional health, because there's going to be quite a bit of pressure on you underneath the surface in the shadow to take care of the hurt, to take care of the things that are troublesome to you. And don't suppress the love and the wealth, the family wealth that you have around you, because it's there. The next card is the Lovers. So this is in the light. This is the card of Gemini. And here we see the Lovers in your position. So this represents a loving relationship, trying to seek family relationships with people around you, trying to find love. And I think that this is why it's important to hold your tongue a little bit, because you're trying to solicit from other people, or maybe from one person, a love type relationship, or possibly a family relationship, a deepening bond. And so that's your disposition. And the thing about taking on this card is that you can't force the issue with other people. They have to come around to you to express and experience that quality of a relationship. You can't coerce, you can't convince, you can't do anything about it. So that's why maybe you have this idea, or you have this thing that you want to create, but that's maybe something that you exude, and now you have to wait for that to come in. Very good card. The next card is the Strength card. This is the card of Leo, and Leo rules July as the month in July. The sign of Leo begins, and actually Cancer does too. Sorry for those of you who are Cancers. This can be a change of fortune with a Leo person. This could be an intervention through someone's passion for you. Leo denotes passion and lust. So you may be coming very close and motivated to be with a Leo. There can be a passionate relationship that arises in July. It could actually help you feel very sexual and very sexually prominent and kind of on fire. The Strength card says that there's a real truth and a bond between yourself and someone else. And that's one of a natural order sort of thing, like your animal instincts are in sync with the other person's. So this changes your life significantly, and this person or these people that this card is talking about need to be cherished, taken care of, upheld in your life. And we see the moon. The moon represents visions, and again, very closely related to the High Priestess. I think you're afraid of what's going on below the surface. And this is important because your last card is the Nine of Swords, which is the same as here. So we have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords twice. So Scorpios are really coming to terms with the end of something, really facing some real challenges in their lives. And that's the last card. So you have to wait for your turn for things to come in while you are afraid of the things that are coming out from underneath the shadow. There's things that are buried deep underneath the surface. And I think you sense that through your whole July. And by the end of July, you're going to see some of that come through, the feelings and emotions. I feel as though July for Scorpio is a cover-up month, where you're really good at making nice and pretending as if everything's okay, laughing, having fun. But below the surface, there's something that is really significantly troublesome. And by the end of the month, you release it and you let it go. And this is important that you do that, because this allows you to move forward. So you're going to need to feel that. You need to go through that in order to emancipate yourself. You in the shadow have the Seven of Cups, as your personal card. This says that there's quite a bit of illusion. There's quite a bit of a lack of looking at the truth through the majority of the month. I think you're fighting hard to keep the momentum going, keep the spirits up. But as the month progresses, you're going to see yourself really writing out some kind of story that is really writing out some kind of story that is going to cover up the truth and in the middle of the month, the truth comes through and it's going to be inescapable. And this is all to do with protection, awareness, self-awareness. The next card is the Two of Swords. So this is the same, the Two of Feathers. So we have 3 double pairs. That's a lot of truth, Scorpio. You're really coming into sync with something. The Two of Swords, I think you're going to come to terms with someone with whom you've had some cross words or some kind of circumstance that you were not getting along. So this would have caused you a great amount of disappointment and sadness, but by the end of the month of July, you'll be coming to terms and fixing that relationship. What you're hoping for is the Daughter of Swords. The Daughter of Swords is a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. You're trying to be heard. You're trying to evoke out of yourself feelings. You're trying to evoke out of yourself a voice. And by trying to evoke out of yourself that voice, you feel as though you have to stand up against really big things. So you're kind of self-protecting yourself through the whole month in order to produce some kind of result of protection or keeping things the same as they were. You're very fortunate that the people around you, things will improve with the people around you for sure. But I think that you need to work through your own personal things, your personal feelings and emotions and circumstances, because I think that you're more hurt than what you give yourself credit for. The next card is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is another duplicate, so we have 4 duplicates, so that means that the shadow and the light are very correlated at this time. Just to remind you, we've duplicated the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and 2 of Swords. To add to this, we have all this feather or sword energy, which is all to do with the mind, all to do with how you're thinking. So you need to let go of some of the ways that you are thinking. At the end of the month, you will be saying something. At the end of the month, some word is going to come out that's going to cause you a great deal of upset. Something that you've been holding back, a feeling or an emotion that is polluting you. And finally, at the end of the month, you say it. And I think that this is going to cause you this feeling of 9 of Feathers. I think that my advice for you, Scorpio, is to walk into the month nurturing this as much as possible and trying to avoid speaking your words so harshly. You know? I think that you understand what is happening and what's at fault, but I don't think it's going to do you justice. There's a lot of positivity that's happening around you, and I think that you are going to undermine yourself by speaking your thoughts or your mind too clearly or carefully. My advice for you is to focus on your wealth and your security and elevate the level of thinking, because I think that you have this predisposition in July to think negatively about things and situations, and maybe for good reason. But you don't want to carry that forward after it's completed. So it seems as though you're the one who's carrying that forward by talking about it. Sorry about that. So it seems as though you're the one who's talking about it, carrying it forward by talking about it and bringing out it into the light a second time. And that's all motivated by fear and your self-awareness that there's something there and trying to bring it out. Maybe this is a time, if you are struggling with something, talk to a professional counselor, someone who can bring that out with you in a safe and secure manner so that your relationships are left intact. So it's all about how you manage the situation. If you clam up, Scorpio, and if you burst, you will invariably by end of July burst at the seams and say the wrong thing at the wrong time. But if you manage it well and you take care of whatever it is that's going on here in the heart of the matter, you could actually protect yourself and protect your status, your situation, and speak in an appropriate way and time, okay? And you have enough support around you to be able to do that. So make sure that you are communicating, that you're keeping the channels of communication open, that you're speaking through appropriate channels, that you're not exploding on people. And I think it's really important for you to focus on the good things in your life, of course, and stop trying to over milk that cow, to overcompensate for the things that are happening around you, to make nice, to make it happy, because that's going to be a short-lived happiness. You have to live through the finish so that you can begin in a new direction. So July will be that transition, that turnaround month. I wish that the cards came up a little bit happier, but I hope that they will next month in August. Anyway, Scorpio, take care, and I hope you have a nice month. Best of luck. Bye.